Lesson 15.3 is vertical and horizontal asymptotes as limits graphically. So we talked about what an asymptote is. We've only had vertical so far, but asymptotes can also be horizontal lines that a graph gets close to but never actually touches. So it says the function f is shown below. Determine the equations of all vertical and horizontal asymptotes of f and the equivalent limit equations. There are a total of blank vertical or horizontal asymptotes. So they want the total number combined. What I'm going to tell you to help make this lesson easier is look at the arrows. So see how this one is going diagonal? That's not an asymptote. Asymptotes are going to happen when the arrows come to basically vertical, here, here, or horizontal. That means they're flattening out or getting straight up and down. So right at x is -2 is a vertical asymptote. At x is 6 is another vertical asymptote. And then we're just looking at this in behavior. I know you see parts of the graph here, but again, this is kind of like pieces. We're going to say that at this horizontal line, which is y equals -3, is an asymptote. And so we'll put here that there's a total of 3. Then Delta Math will have these different things pop up, but you have to choose whether it's a vertical, horizontal asymptote, and then write an equation of it, and then tell why, making it a limit. So pause this, write these things down, and then we're going to continue on with writing the limit together. Okay, so we've got vertical asymptote is happening here at x equals -2, because vertical lines cut through the x-axis, so they're always x equals a number. The reason that we know that is because if we want to write the limit, so LIM, as x approaches -2, and you don't have to put a little plus or minus because we're just saying the general limit coming from both directions, what are the ends doing? They're going down and down and down and down and down. So we would say that the function is approaching -infinity, or the y's are going down. Same thing can be said about the other vertical asymptote here when x is 6, because the limit as x approaches 6 of our function, they are both going down to -infinity. Okay, the horizontal asymptotes are treated a little differently, because what is x going to? Well, it doesn't just stop at 10, it doesn't stop at 20, it doesn't stop at 100. You would say the limit, run out of room here, as x goes to the right forever. So my x's are getting bigger, 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 bigger. So we would say as x goes to infinity, or to the right, what is our y approaching? Well, it's flattening out to where it's going to be close to -3, the y value there. So that's what they want you to understand. Let's try one more of them a little quicker. So we've got to determine how many asymptotes here. Well, I see this end flattening out. So that means there's a horizontal asymptote here at y is -5. So there's one of them. I see these end behaviors, they're going down to where they're almost vertical. So I see a vertical asymptote at x is 1. And then I see this end flattening out. So there's a horizontal asymptote at y is 5. So there's a total of 3 asymptotes again. And I want to start with the vertical asymptote again first, because I think those are a little easier for us. So at x equals 1, because looking at the end behavior, as you're coming from the left and the right, the y values are going to keep going down and down and down. So we're going to say the limit as x gets closer to 1 of our function f of x, it equals -infinity. And of course, if two ends were going up, then we would say y is approaching +infinity. And then horizontal asymptote, I'm going to start with the one down here, going through y equals -5. So this end, it's going to keep going, x is smaller, 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 so we can't stop at a number. We would say because the limit as x is going to the left or going to more negative numbers, -infinity of f of x, what y value are we flattening out at? It looks like -5. And then the other horizontal asymptote is here at +5, and it looks like this end, which is getting bigger, 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 bigger x values. So we'd say the limit as x is approaching +infinity is flattening out to y is 5.